Hi, Toastmaster Art here with the latest video addition to my YouTube channel. It being also the first presentation in the Leadership Excellence series. I am recording this video at a relevant time, as it is at the heart of the club success plan, which involves, you guessed it, goal setting and planning. I shared this presentation with my two clubs earlier this month, July 2026, to provide them with this helpful information. Now, I know you cannot see me, and of course, I cannot see you, but feel free to put your hand up if you are serving your club this year as one of its officers. Guess what, all you out there with your hand in the air? A club has to prepare and submit a club success plan for the year to give it the possibility of being a distinguished club or reaching an even greater distinguished status. I am going to incorporate some of my own slides in this Toastmasters International presentation to share with specificity what needs to be done. Let us start by defining a goal. Here you can see that it is a specific objective which you and your team must achieve. If we look at Club Leadership Handbook, page 40, and the Club Leadership Handbook, by the way, is item 1310, latest revision June 2026, we see there, quote, to be eligible for recognition, clubs must have submitted a club success plan by September 30, end quote. It is suggested by Toastmasters International and myself that officers begin creating this at the first Club Executive Committee meeting, which would, I assume, be in July for your club, as your Club Executive Committee, or CEC, should be meeting monthly. Next, let's define a plan. You can see here that it is the blueprint for achieving your goals. As an example, I would ask you to consider the builder of a house. He has blueprints prepared to which he can refer while constructing the dwelling. In the case of the club success plan, Toastmasters International have provided the blueprint. All we have to do is fill in the blanks based on the results of our thoughtful discussion, then follow the plan. That begs the question, though, does it not? Where does one find the plan? It is available to club officers in Club Central. I'll have more on the participants in the planning process forthcoming. But let me give you an advance notification here. This presentation will not provide you with a detailed description of all aspects of the club success plan. A helpful resource will be identified later, and you can watch that video for the club success plan nitty-gritty. A prudent high-altitude view of the club success plan would logically include a definition thereof, along with a categorical overview. And here they are. You can see here on the left that the CSP, Club Success Plan, is a helpful resource for the CEC and club members to strategically plan and map out how they're going to achieve the desired goals within the Distinguished Club program. Looking over to the right, you can see that there are four major sections of the Club Success Plan: education, membership, training, and administration. At the bottom is a fifth section where information about the CEC's values and methods is defined. The Club Success Plan is found in Club Central, which is only accessible by officers, but the previous slide and this one make it clear that non-officer members are also part of the process. As you can see here in point 1, and I emphasize part of it, the club should work together as a group, creating action plans and measurable checkpoints for each of the goals. But how do we make that happen? My first suggestion to you would be to Encourage your members to attend CEC meetings. They have limited amounts of participation at those meetings, but they certainly can attend and be a part of the process here. My second suggestion would be to have the club success plan status shared and input such as educational award expectations sought during your club meetings in the business session, which can be either at the beginning or the end of the meeting. The club success plan should be reviewed and updated at CEC meetings. I suggest that every CEC meeting agenda have an old business item titled Club Success Plan Status. Unlike the Bible and our nation's Constitution, the Club Success Plan is a living, breathing document meant to be updated over the course of the club year. Let us next consider 5 important characteristics of goals. You may have seen these before, as they are certainly not limited in application to Toastmasters. Let me preface our consideration of the goal characteristics by saying that goals need not be grand or complex. They can simply be statements of results you hope to achieve. A goal has several characteristics. It is specific. It clearly states what must happen. It is measurable. Results can be easily validated. It is action-oriented, meaning the goal begins with the word to, T-O, followed by a verb, id est, the infinitive form. Example, a club president's goal may be to be a distinguished club by June 30. A vice president education's goal may be to have 4 members earn a level 2 award by May 31. Next, the goal should be realistic. It can be challenging, but it should still be practical and achievable. That means it should not be too high or too low in its expectations. Lastly, for the T here, it should be time-bounded. The goal contains a timetable for its achievement. That's a lot of information, and even with the helpful, easy acronym, SMART, there's still a lot to consider. The good news, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The club success plan makes it easy to specify the goals and these characteristics. Now that we know the characteristics of our goals, let's talk about implementing them. We want to firstly involve team members in setting the goals. People will increase their commitment to goals when they are involved in setting them. They develop a sense of ownership, and they will take responsibility for results since they have a personal stake in them. Second point here is to write each goal for best results. You've probably heard that before. If you write something down, you will better retain it. It makes the goal easier to remember, and it also makes it easier to track progress toward it. Next, we should consider what must be done to achieve a goal once it has been written. What problems or obstacles could be encountered? You might wish to view my Which Way Should I Go obstacle-based presentation on the Toastmaster Art YouTube channel. By identifying and resolving potential conflicts now, you will be better able to focus on the goal. Fourth point here is to regularly review progress toward the goal. Are we where we should be in accomplishing it? If so, great. If not, determine the reason for the delay and then take appropriate action. Tracking progress and creating action items to encourage progress are part of the club success plan. We now get into the planning process. Think back to that builder and his blueprints example I shared earlier. A plan describes how a goal will be achieved. It provides the structure needed to accomplish daily organizational activities. It outlines the necessary activities, the resources to be allocated, and how the work will be assigned. It gives guidance and direction to everyone involved in achieving the goal. A plan ensures the object will be achieved efficiently and effectively. Planning is important for several reasons. Firstly, it puts goals in the forefront. Since goals are the starting point for plans, leaders always remember their goals. Secondly, planning forces leaders to look beyond the present to project what will happen in the future. Thirdly, planning enables leaders to coordinate decisions, which is important as decisions should not be made without considering their effects on the future. Fourthly, planning ensures the efficient use of resources. A lack of planning can result in resources being overused or wasted, putting a strain on deadlines and raising stress levels. Once your goals are determined, the planning process can be broken down into 5 easy steps. The first one is to identify how you will achieve the goal by listing the specific steps that must be taken to move toward the goal. Let us go back to that goal of the club president to be a distinguished club by June 30. In this case, listed should be the specific steps the club must take if it were to achieve this goal using the Distinguished Club program. Point 2 on the screen here is to know that priorities and scheduling are critical to planning. You'll want to make a list of tasks according to their priority and establish specific deadlines for their completion. Again, perhaps a lot to think about, but the club success plan has features and functionality to accomplish this step. Step 3 involves delegating tasks to the team, matching each task to the person best suited for it. The success of a team depends on all members fulfilling their responsibilities, so be sure that each team member commits to completing his or her assigned duties. Here's an example. The club president assigns the task of having 2 members earn level 2 awards this year to the vice president education. In turn, the vice president education identifies 2 members who are close to completing level 2 and talks with them about completing the level by the deadline. If those 2 members agree and commit, the vice president education schedules those members to speak so that they can meet the deadline. Point 4 brings us back to the obstacles, this time anticipating them in advance, because good leaders think about potential problems. Here's an example using the vice president education scenario we just considered. The vice president education, VPE, realizes that one of the potential level 2 award recipients will be out of town for several meetings. So she schedules the member to speak only at meetings which the member will be able to attend. Another example is this. At my club, we prefer to have the area director preside over the officer installation ceremony. But this year he was not available, so we modified the plan as necessary, having the immediate past club president preside. Know this, that even the best leaders cannot possibly imagine all of the challenges or problems that may occur as a team strives to achieve its goals. And thus, as leaders, we must be flexible and change our plans as need be. Draining any remaining life from our vice president education example, if she realizes one of the individuals trying to achieve the level 2 award will not achieve it in time, she can modify her plan. In this case, she would look to the rest of the club members, trying to find another person who might be close to achieving the award, allowing the club to fulfill that goal. Remember back on the implementing goals slide, it was advised to involve team members in setting goals. We have also learned that it is not just the club officers, but the entire membership that is the team here. When the whole club gets involved, in other words, participates, they get to exercise their creative ability. The officers do not have a club-wide lock on creativity. They get to apply their problem-solving skills. The club officers do not have a club-wide lock on that. And they get to increase their commitment to achieving the goals. All participants here have some skin in the game. Let me begin wrapping up here with the closing statement provided by Toastmasters International. The DCP is an excellent example of goal setting and planning. It shows the club how to set goals at the beginning of the year and determine how to achieve these goals. It also includes a document to write down these goals and plans. Of course, that document is no longer a PDF file, but rather now an online set of form pages. Their statement continues by saying, the format could also be used for the workplace or for other organizations to which a member belongs. Like I said earlier with regard to the SMART goal characteristics, they are certainly not limited in application to Toastmasters. District 38 is no more, but here is the information needed to get to the Club Success Plan training presentation with then District 38 Education Chair Chris Velasco. She takes an hour-long deep dive into the Club Success Plan, and I highly encourage you to watch this video presentation. Take a screenshot here, as I have included the YouTube video URL and a QR code which points to the same place. Careful goal setting and planning are the keys to achieving results and to making an individual a successful leader. Goal setting plus planning equals a successful leader is a simple equation, right? But there is quite a bit of collective effort to establish the goals, define the plan, and hopefully achieve the success we seek. Yes, it is the responsibility of the club executive committee to make this happen by September 30, but achieving that outcome is made more efficacious as a result of all of us, not a club executive committee conclave, collectively constructing this year's club success plan. Can all of you be counted on to help? As Captain Picard would say, make it so. Thank you for watching.